Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Locks of the Day podcast. This is episode number 107. I'm here once again with Zach and Andrew. Today, we're here to give you our premium locks, of course. We're going to give you NHL picks, tennis picks, and some MLB futures. We've always been hot with futures, so make sure you tail those picks. All the picks, of course, we've been on fire. We're going to get right into these picks. So, Andy, you got a little NHL action for him, kid. Go
Yes,
ahead and give it to
sir.
him.
Yes, sir. We got boots on the ground tonight for this pick. Going with the Predators money line minus 145. They're playing the Sharks. Sharks on a four-game losing streak. Preds heating up at the right time on a five-game winning or four-game winning streak. Uh, sitting in a wild card spot, only one win above of the LA Kings. Preds they need to keep their foot on the pedal here and keep winning games and continue to play some good hockey to keep their playoff hopes alive. They have the playoff experience too, players that have won cups. Two solid goalies in Saros and Anoon, and Saros kind of having an off year. This is his highest goals against in his whole career, but still managing to win games. Um, and the wheels got kind of fallen off the wagon in San Jose recently. They've just been looking bad. A couple months ago, you thought they were a playoff team. Last four games, they looked like shit. On a four-game losing streak, 3-7 their last 10 games, giving up on average 4.1 goals per game in that last 10. It's just hard to trust the Sharks right now. Yeah, they're a good young team, but Preds are a playoff team. Like I think they can get there. So I'm gonna ride with the Preds tonight at a minus 145, and I think Zach's got a little hockey play for you too.
Yeah, two-star, we have Mammoth money line minus 135 against the Oilers. This is the second time these teams are meeting. The Oilers took the first game towards the beginning of the year. They won that one, I believe it was 6-3. This can be the second matchup. These two teams both in a playoff spot somehow. The Mammoth are doing a pretty good job in that very tight Central Division. The Oilers have like 73 points and they're somehow in a playoff spot. That just sums up the Western Conference or the Western Division. But and this one, really, I do think it's going to come down to the defense of the Oilers and the goaltending. Pretty much, they've been giving up 3.4 goals per game, even though they've been scoring 3.4 goals per game. But it's just been their goaltending and their defense that has killed them all year. They're giving up 30 shots a game. They went from Stuart Skinner to Tristan Jarry, which really made no difference. I mean, Tristan Jarry has a 3.4 goals against, 0.88 save percentage. Connor Ingram's done okay as their backup, but still, he has a 0.89. Then they had Calvin Pickard, who's same thing. He was like 5, 6, and 4 with the 3.7. It just seems like whoever they put in net just can't really get the job done. And on the other end of things, Vejmelka, the goalie for the Mammoth, has kind of stood on his head all year with a 0.9 save percentage, 2.67. Even their backup, Vitek Vanacek, has done pretty well with a 2.7 and just under a 0.9 save percentage. But I really do think in this one it's really going to come down to the defense and it's going to come down to the power play. The Oilers do let up a lot of power play opportunities. They sit 28th in the league in that. So that's really kind of towards like the top five, basically. Um, and the Mammoth are pretty crappy on the power play. Their power play percentage is only 17%, as the Oilers do have a top power play in the league. If the Mammoth can finish on their power play chances, they are one of the best on five. But if they can finish on the power play, they're going to put these guys away pretty quick, I think. They're probably going to put up probably 4 or 5 tonight. You could see a game almost like the first one, but the opposite could be 5-3 Mammoth, could be 6-3 Mammoth in this one. This is a game that I would say that the Mammoth probably need a little bit more because the Oilers, I don't know, that Western Division is so bad. I just don't think the Oilers really need to do too much to really lose that 3 seed. Whereas I feel like the Mammoth really do need to battle with some of these other teams that are getting hot, like the Predators, like the Kings, and they have to do what they can to keep up and try to make the playoffs. So, but I do think Mammoth minus 135 as a two-star at home, give me the value and take it.
Love it. There's your NHL premium picks for you. Make sure you tail those. And then we are going right into tennis, scheduled to start at 3 p.m. Eastern time. We're rocking with a little three-star Adam Walton at a minus 4.5, minus 120 versus Luka Pavlovich. Now, Walton is number 85 in the world, while Pavlovich is number 219 in the world. This match will be played on hard court, which is, of course, Walton's best surface as an Australian. Honestly, I think this match isn't even close. Walton has been playing the best tennis of his life. He's 7-3 with his last 10 opponents, all being better than Pavlovich. There's only two guys I would say within that 10-match span that are around Pavlovich's current level. I mean, he's beating guys like Jari, Kekmanovic, who's been on fucking fire, Haley's, Baez, and he's barely losing to guys like Tien and Mensick, who have both been absurdly good. Meanwhile, he's playing Pavlovich and only favored by 4.5. A little weird to me, but probably because Pavlovich has had some matches where he's played weirdly good against solid opponents before. But even then, no. I think fucking Walton works him here. Lock in a little 3-star Adam Walton minus 4.5 at a minus 120. He could win by 12. 6-0, 6-0. How you doing? 2-star scheduled to start at 4 p.m. We're rocking with Tommy Paul at a minus 3.5, minus 110 versus Tomas Etcheverry. Now, Tommy Paul is ranked number 23 in the world, as a lot of people know him, and Etcheverry is ranked number 32 in the world. So obviously not a bad player. You can't be ranked top 30 and be bad. This match will also be played on hard court, which is Paul's best surface, and Etcheverry's best surface is clay. He's an Argentinian, so clay, just naturally. They're fucking born and raised on that shit over there. But yeah, he's still a good player on hard courts. I mean, he's evolved into a pretty good player on every surface within the past year or two. And Etcheverry is 10-2 in his last 12 matches, but 9 of those were on clay. So a little different there. And he's played 3 very solid matches on hard courts in a row coming into this match. So I got to give him his respect. Like I said, he's a good player. But Tommy Paul is the more talented player here. He's 9-3 in his last 12 matches, all being on hard courts, all being against very good opponents. I just believe Tommy Paul, if he plays this game, he should win this match outright and by spread, no problem. So lock in a little 2-star Tommy Paul, minus 3.5 at a minus 110. Now rolling into some futures for you fellas. Let's get into the MLB season, kick it off a little early. Andy, what's your future, kid?
Yes, sir. I got two, but my first one's going to be a win total. It's going to be the Nationals under 65.5 wins at a minus 110. Just looking at this team, they're very young, not a guy over in their 30s in their lineup. They're hitting like 1 through 9. CJ Abrams, solid. James Wood, very good, but strikes out fuck ton. And the NL East division is just way too stacked for them to compete in. They got to play 55 games against the Phillies, Braves, and Mets, who are actually just Mets literally just went all in this year. Basically, just their team on paper looks like they could win it all, but will they? Who knows? Because it's the Mets. Marlins, they're the Marlins. I think they're a little bit better than the Nationals, but just because of pitching with Sandy and Yuri Perez. But Nationals, they're in the NL. They're still going to have 6-game series against the Dodgers, Brewers, Cubs, Giants, Padres, Diamondbacks. Those are all fucking solid teams. They could get swept by every single one of them. Like, you just don't know. And then you look at like the pitching staff for the Nationals, their ace, I think their pitching staff could be the worst. Like, their ace is solid. He's younger. Uh, he he only started for 10 games with them last year. He was brought up from the minor leagues in August. Um, he had a 4.25 ERA in 48 innings, which isn't bad, but still not good enough to be an ace in my opinion. Nationals, they did pick up Zach Littell and Miles Mikolas, both coming off tougher seasons with like over 4.5 ERAs. Mikolas' last 3 seasons had a 4.7, 5.3, and a 4.8 ERA. This dude he's just getting lit up. And then you look at their fifth guy, Jake Irving, who he's been with Washington for the last 3 seasons. He struggled big time last year at a 5.7. And you're gonna put those 3 guys against the NL and the NL East that are just stacked. Yeah, good luck with that now. So you guys are gonna get smoked this year. I don't see this team coming close to 60 wins, so I'm taking under 65.5 at a minus 110. And I think Zach's got 1 or 2 for you.
I'm off as well. I'm also going to go with an under, and that's going to be the Cardinals under 69.5 wins. That is also a minus 110. Very similar situation in this one. The Cardinals just went into a straight rebuild this past offseason, and as you kind of see, they unloaded a bunch of their guys. Wilson Contreras, see ya. Brendan Donovan, see ya. Sonny Gray, see ya. I mean, it's one of those things where I understand it because the Cardinals over these last couple of years have tried to put together a good team, They've either just missed the playoffs or they've gotten in, they've gotten knocked out in the wild card round. And they brought in a really solid GM who's known for going to mid-tier or low-tier teams, rebuilding them and bringing them back up. It worked out with the Rays. They brought this guy to Boston, a team that actually spends money, and it didn't work out. The guy kind of tanked the team. Now they're sending him back to a mid-tier franchise who's competitive, and he just said, "Look, I'm going to trade everyone." He ended up getting like 8 to 10 prospects. He's going to do the same thing this year. But I look at the team that he put together, and it's a full-on tank mode. I mean, Matthew Liberatore is your ace. That's atrocious. I'm just going to be honest with you. Michael McGreevy is going to be their number two. Not a bad win record, but he did have a 4.5 ERA. Dustin May's coming off a rough season. Kyle Leahy's probably one of their better looks. He's only played a couple seasons, but he did go 4-2 with a 3.1 last year. And then they have Andre Palante or Palante, whoever this guy is. This guy is always a guy that I love to fade because when you like have like a prop against this guy, he's either getting lit up for 5 or 6 runs or he's pitching a gem. There's no in between. But still, you look at a pitching staff like that, it just doesn't really work out. And then, I mean, you look at their bullpen, and their bullpen's kind of similar. A lot of guys competing for roster spots. I mean, with the exception of Jojo Romero and maybe Ryan Stanek, who are going to be maybe their setup guy and closer, that bullpen is not going to be able to fight with the rest of the teams that are going to be in that National League. And similar to what you said with the NL East, this Cardinals team has to compete with the NL Central. So you have the Cubs, who are a playoff team. You have the Pirates, who have improved immensely. They might make a run this year at a wild card spot, right? Then you have to think that you have the Reds, who made a playoff spot last year. And then let's see, the Brewers who made a playoff spot last year. And I'm probably forgetting one other team that's probably in there that I'm going to regret. But
No, that's all.
Did I say the Cubs already?
Yeah, that's all of them. You got them.
Okay, there we go. We got all of them. But yeah, pretty much they had 3 playoff teams in that division last year, and then the Pirates, who improved. So, I mean, you're going to play 55 games against all those teams. You'll be lucky if you win 15. Then you got to go play 2 series against every other division. So then you got to play 2 series against the NL East and the NL West. Good luck playing the Dodgers, Padres, Giants, and then Diamondbacks for 7 games. And then you got to go play every team in the American League. Yeah, good luck playing 15 against the AL East. And then, I mean, you look at what they're playing against. I don't think this team is terrible, but I think that everyone else is just better than them. Because, I mean, you get into like their lineup and it's like their outfield is very mid. Like Jordan Walker, decent player in his career, but he's their best outfielder. And they have another guy, Nathan Church, who's 25. He's pretty much made his MLB debut last year. In about, I think, 10 to 15 games, he hit 179. They got Victor Scott, who's not half bad, but still, it doesn't do anything for you. And then they have a couple decent utility guys in Jose Fermin and Thomas Sagassi. But those guys are decent average hitters, but they don't hit home runs. They had a combined 3 home runs between the two of them last year. Decent averages, though, 283 and 275. And then you go in their infield, and it's like you have Ramon Urias, utility guy, who's going to be an 8 guy or a 9 guy. Nolan Gorman, who hits for stats, honestly, because last year's average was atrocious. And then you have Mason Wynn and Alec Burleson, who are probably going to be your 2 best hitters. But I would say their one bright spot might be JJ Weatherholt, who's one of their top prospects. That kid might be a dog, I'm going to be completely honest. But especially with how bad that infield is, he might play a lot until they probably send him back down to save some years on his contract. But with that being said, I just don't see a way in which maybe this team, unless they start getting lucky, it's baseball, anything can happen. But a team like that to get 70 wins in a rebuild, I just don't know if it's going to happen. I think they're just going to be too overwhelmed with who they're playing, and I just don't think 70 wins is going to be possible for them. So Cardinals under 69.5 wins at a -110.
Perfect. I got my second one. Second MLB future will be Boston Red Sox, AL East division winner. Little hometown bet here at a +300. Had to take it.
Easy money.
That's easy money. I just think the Red Sox have a great lineup, top to bottom. Very solid rotation, adding Sonny Gray, Ranger Suarez, and Johan Oviedo to mix in with Bello, and who's getting better and better each year. And then Crochet, who's just been dominating the league the past few years. I think they're going to be one of the best rotations in baseball this year. Red Sox also added some solid pieces to the infield. First baseman Wilson Contreras and third baseman Caleb Durbin. Wilson Coming from St. Louis, yeah, he had one of his better years at the plate with a career high of 126 hits, batting average of 257, 20 home runs, 80 RBIs, and another career high of 31 doubles. Just more firepower to a dangerous lineup with Roman Anthony, who looks very promising. Willie Abreu, who's lights out in spring training, had a great World Baseball Classic. He was kind of hot at the end of the year last year. He looks great. Trevor Story finally had a full season since being with the Red Sox last year, so hopefully he can stay healthy. And Ceddanne Rafaela was a double machine last year, and he keeps improving. Also, great utility player. Red Sox are kind of stacked, and new third baseman, that Caleb Durbin kid. You see how tall this kid is? Oh, short, 5'6". Dude's like a little Altuve.
Wow.
Reminds me of a little Altuve at third base. He's hard to pitch to those guys because the fucking strike zone's so
Yeah.
tiny. He had a great first season with the Brewers, tallying 114 hits, batting 256, 11 home runs with 53 RBIs. Not bad. 18 stolen bases. Gets it done. Very solid hitter. Very good fielder, though. He was top four in third base in the MLB and the fielding percentage with only 6 errors at third. Pretty good. Durbin at third, Story at short. Gonna be fun to watch. It's a fucking brick wall right there. AL East is stacked. Uh, very good division. O's got a little bit better with Pete Alonso, but I don't see their pitching holding up. Their rotation's kind of weak. I don't think the Blue Jays are gonna have another 90 plus win team. Um, and then the Yankees are fuck them, but they're good if their pitchers can stay healthy. But for a plus 300, I'll take the Red Sox every day of the week. They were only 5 games out of first last year, and they've only improved in my eyes this offseason. So I'm locking in the Red Sox at a at least winner plus 300. Lock them in, boys. Come on, Zach. What do you got for your last one?
Yeah, last one that we have is going to be Chandler Simpson to lead the league in stolen bases at a plus 400. Last year, he came up about, probably going to say about a month and a half in, 2 months in, also got sent down as well at some point throughout the year. Guy missed the stolen base lead by 4 to one of his former teammates and current Yankees player, Jose Caballero, and then Ellie De La Cruz was second. Kind of funny to see that Caballero's not even on the list for stolen bases this year, mainly because the Yankees don't steal bases. I looked at stats last year. Rays led the league in stolen base attempts and in stolen bases for the most part. I would say with Chandler Simpson playing a full season, this guy might steal 60 plus bases, if not more. This is kind of how the Rays compete. They find little sneaky ways to, compete with these bigger market teams, or just sneaky ways just to win. Stolen bases was their way to do it last year and how they competed. Offensively, they really didn't put it together, but you had guys like Chandler Simpson, guys like Jake Magnum. I mean, you name it, Jose Caballero, and these guys were stealing bases left and right because they can get on base. And Chandler Simpson did hit 300 last year. I would expect he's probably going to do better if, I mean, maybe he'll be one of the top average hitters in the American League, probably around 320 or 330, because he was seeing the ball well last year. He's seeing the ball well in spring training, and I kind of see the same thing going on. That they're going to have to use this guy's speed, especially as a leadoff hitter. When you have guys like Yandy Diaz, Junior Caminero, guys like that hitting right behind you, they're going to want you in scoring position almost every time because they're going to knock you in. I don't feel like this one is too overcomplicated. Maybe the only way it doesn't hit is, yeah, injuries happen in baseball. He could get injured, or, maybe something happens. He's not hitting well. He does get sent down. But I think for the odds that you're getting it at, I mean, in my opinion, you're picking the fastest guy in the league to have the stolen base crown. I feel like it's kind of self-explanatory. So, I mean, we're going Chandler Simpson plus 400 stolen base leaders. So there we go.
Beautiful little juicy line for the fellas. Yeah, you boys got anything else?
I'm good. I'm good.
Beautiful. There's our NHL premium locks, our tennis premium locks, and 4 MLB futures for you all. Thank you all so much for tuning into the Locks of the Day podcast, episode number 107, and we will see you next week. Good luck. Tail that shit. Peace.